Most people don't fail because they're broken. They fail because they're comfortable. They stop when they're tired, not when they're finished. They stop when things get boring or inconvenient. And that's the moment everything starts to slip away. Success doesn't ask how you feel, it only asks one question: did you show up anyway? It's a hard truth to accept, especially when the modern world constantly encourages ease. We're surrounded by messages telling us to slow down, to wait for the right time, or to only act when we feel inspired. But success doesn't work on your schedule. It doesn't wait until you're rested, motivated, or emotionally ready. It shows up when you keep going, especially when your mind says stop. That moment, the one where everything inside you screams to quit, is exactly when transformation begins. That's where your real growth hides. Not in the days when everything flows easily, but in the quiet battle between what you feel like doing and what you know you need to do. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's reality. Think of any major achievement in your life. Did it happen when you were well rested, full of energy, and totally in control? Probably not. The most meaningful progress tends to happen after a long day, in a moment of doubt, when you chose to keep going anyway. Pushing beyond comfort is a skill. It's built like a muscle. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, that muscle strengthens. Every time you lean into resistance rather than back away from it, you build resilience. Eventually, discomfort becomes familiar. Not easy, but manageable. And that's where the magic is. Because once you stop backing down when it gets hard, you start winning in areas of life most people will never reach. It's important to understand pain is not your enemy, it's your trainer. Discomfort is not a warning sign to quit. It's a signal that growth is near. Your best self is not found on the couch or in the comfort zone. It's forged in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the extra reps, the difficult conversations, and the moments you choose to show up without applause. This message especially matters if you've spent years building a career, raising a family, or facing life's inevitable setbacks. You've already proven your strength, but now is the time to push further. Not because you have to, but because you can. You still have something to build: a legacy, a standard, a new level of self-respect. So the next time you're tempted to stop, don't. Take one more step. Make one more call. Finish what you started. You're not too late. You're not too old. And you're definitely not done. Real success begins when you stop waiting to feel ready and start acting despite how you feel. That's the moment you rise. That's the moment you become unstoppable. At this very moment, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads back to everything familiar: comfort, predictability, and safety. The other stretches forward into the unknown, a path paved with challenges, discomfort, and uncertainty. But here's the truth: only one of these roads leads to growth. Only one takes you closer to the person you were meant to become. It's natural to want safety. After all, it's human nature to cling to what we know. But greatness has never been born in the comfort zone. The path to becoming more capable, more fulfilled, more impactful, always runs through discomfort. It asks you to leave behind what's easy and step into what's necessary. That's not a flaw. That's the process. Just ask Abraham Lincoln. His story was anything but smooth. He lost elections, businesses, and even people he loved. He faced rejection after rejection, but he didn't let defeat define him. He made a decision, a quiet, powerful decision, to keep moving forward, to learn from every failure, to grow through pain rather than shrink from it. That choice not only changed his life, it changed the course of an entire nation. And you're no different. Every person you admire, every legacy that inspires you, was shaped in struggle. These individuals were not fearless. They were not superhuman. They simply chose to keep walking when others turned back. They chose growth over comfort, and so must you. It might be tempting to retreat to what's familiar, especially later in life, when it feels like you've already fought enough battles. But growth doesn't come with an expiration date. The fire inside you doesn't burn out with age. It only dims if you stop feeding it. There's still more in you, more to become, more to give, more to experience. But to claim it, you must walk the harder road, the road of self-discovery, of daily discipline, of taking risks not because they're easy, but because they're right. This is the road that transforms not just what you do, but who you are. Growth doesn't guarantee comfort, but it promises something better: meaning. It replaces routine with purpose. It replaces regret with progress. And it turns every setback into a stepping stone, not a wall. So ask yourself, which path are you choosing today? Are you moving toward challenge or away from it? Are you letting fear hold the pen? Or are you writing your story with courage? You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to decide. One step, one act of courage, one moment of choosing growth over comfort. Because the truth is, safety might preserve you, but only growth will fulfill you. Take the step. There will come a time, maybe it's today, when the path ahead feels too steep, when you're tired, when obstacles seem never ending. And in that moment, motivation will fade. Discipline will be tested. Doubt will start to whisper. That's why purpose matters. Not someday. Not when it's convenient. But now. Because purpose is the anchor that holds you steady when life tries to knock you down. To keep going when things get tough, you must know why you're on this journey in the first place. And not just a vague idea. You need a reason so clear, so emotionally powerful, that it pulls you forward, even when your body and mind want to quit. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march through cities and face hate because it was easy. He did it because his purpose burned too bright to ignore. He knew where he was going. He had a dream. And that dream wasn't just an idea, it was a mission. That clarity gave him strength. That purpose moved mountains. And your purpose can do the same for you. Maybe you want to leave behind a legacy. Maybe you want to set an example for your children or grandchildren. Maybe you've seen what a life of regret looks like, and you refuse to end up there. Whatever it is, find it, define it, write it down, speak it aloud, make it real. Because when sacrifice knocks at your door, purpose answers. When the days are long and the winds feel far away, purpose keeps your feet moving. It turns obstacles into teachers. It turns pressure into power. And it transforms ordinary routines into meaningful rituals. But you must protect it. Distractions will try to blur it. Opinions will try to weaken it. Life will tempt you to forget it. That's why your purpose must be more than words. It must be embedded into your daily life. Revisit it each morning. Reflect on it when you feel lost. Let it be your compass when you lose sight of the horizon. Purpose is not a luxury. It's not something you think about once a year. It's a daily commitment. The world doesn't need more people drifting. It needs more people who are awake. People who know what they stand for and why they rise every morning. You are one of those people. So pause for a moment. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What future am I building? Who will benefit when I refuse to give up? Let those answers settle deep in your heart. And when the road gets tough, as it always will, come back to them again and again. Because with a defined purpose, you're not just walking aimlessly, you're moving with intention, with direction, with fire. And that fire, once lit, will keep you going long after others stop. This is your why. Guard it. Fuel it. Live it. Dreams are powerful. They inspire us, stretch our vision, and remind us of what's possible. But dreams without structure often fade into the background of daily life. They become hopes instead of outcomes. That's why goals matter. Goals are what give your dream a spine. They take your someday and turn it into a plan for today. Setting specific, measurable goals is not about pressure. It's about clarity. It's how you transform vague wishes into focused action. When your vision is supported by daily intentional steps, your progress becomes inevitable. It's no longer a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Take a look at any great achievement in history, and you'll find this truth. Whether it was building a business, writing a book, or stepping onto a world stage, it didn't happen in one leap. It happened in layers, steps, milestones. So what about you? Start with the vision. What do you want to create? What life are you building? Don't be afraid to dream big, but once you've defined the big picture, break it down. Set measurable targets. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, say, I will walk 30 minutes each morning. Instead of saying, I want to write a book, say, I'll write 500 words a day. Measurable goals keep you grounded. They give you something real to aim for. Each goal becomes a checkpoint, proof that you're moving forward. And with every small win, something powerful happens. Your confidence grows. Your self-trust deepens. You begin to realize that progress is not about massive leaps, but consistent effort. Write your goals down, not just in your mind, but on paper, on your wall, in your planner. Make them visible. This is your personal contract with your future self, a reminder that you're not leaving your life to chance. You're choosing to build it, step by step. Track your progress. Reflect each day on what you've accomplished and what still needs work. Celebrate small victories. Yes, even the tiny ones, because they matter. They create momentum. They keep your energy alive when motivation fades. And when the path feels long, when the finish line seems distant, come back to your goals. Let them remind you that you're not stuck. You're building. That every effort counts. Every decision adds up. This journey isn't about perfection, it's about direction. It's about showing up for yourself with intention, with purpose, and with a clear map in your hand. So today, don't just dream. Define it. Don't just hope. Plan it. And don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. Set one goal. One small, specific, measurable goal. And take one step. That step may feel small, but it's the foundation of something extraordinary. Because goals aren't just tools. They're a declaration that you're serious about your future. And with each one you set and hit, you become the architect of your own success. Every great endeavor comes with a price. And one of the first tolls you'll pay is criticism. It shows up the moment you decide to do something different, something bold, something others might not understand. And it doesn't always come from enemies. It can come from friends, coworkers, even family, people who mean well but fear the unfamiliar. The truth is, not everyone will see your vision. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's yours. When Galileo peered through his telescope and saw a universe that didn't revolve around Earth, he wasn't met with applause. He was met with condemnation. His discovery challenged the comfortable beliefs of the time. He paid the price for daring to see something new. Yet centuries later, we remember him not for the backlash he faced, but for the truth he stood for. Albert Einstein, too, was misunderstood. His ideas were mocked, his theories rejected by many of his peers. But he never let those voices define his worth or limit his thinking. Instead, he held to his vision. And over time, the world caught up. What do these stories tell us? That greatness is rarely recognized in its beginning. That criticism, more often than not, is a reflection of others' limitations, not your potential. People fear what they don't understand. They resist what threatens their comfort zone. And when your actions push against the norm, their doubt becomes loud. But you must stay louder in your commitment. To move forward with purpose, you must learn to separate helpful feedback from limiting noise. Constructive feedback sharpens you. It offers insight, highlights blind spots, helps you grow. But destructive criticism? It does none of that. It exists only to discourage and delay. Learn the difference. Receive wisdom, not fear. Because the road to achievement is not paved with applause. It's paved with quiet resolve. The kind that keeps going even when misunderstood. The kind that refuses to give up even when ridiculed. When you feel doubt creeping in, return to your vision. Anchor yourself in the why that started this journey. Remind yourself of the future you're building, not for their approval, but for your purpose. Let their disbelief become fuel for your determination. The world doesn't need more people who play small to fit in. It needs more people who are willing to stand tall, even if they stand alone for a while. And if history has taught us anything, it's this: time always tells the truth. The very voices that criticize you today may one day admire your strength. So stay committed. Stay focused. Don't let fear disguised as advice pull you off course. Your dream, your mission, your calling, it's worth defending. Let criticism be your background noise, not your blueprint. Let your work speak. Let your results echo. And let your unwavering commitment be what defines you, not their doubt. Because in the end, the world remembers the ones who dared to keep going. Criticism is not a sign you're doing something wrong. More often than not, it's confirmation that you're doing something bold, something different. The moment you decide to rise above the average, to challenge the status quo, to pursue a vision that stretches beyond what's comfortable, you will encounter resistance. And often, the voices of doubt won't come from strangers. They'll come from those closest to you. Friends, colleagues, even family may try to convince you to slow down, stay safe, be realistic. But their words, no matter how well-meaning, are often rooted in their fear, not your future. History is filled with stories of visionaries who were ridiculed long before they were respected. Galileo, one of the greatest scientific minds in history, dared to suggest that the Earth was not the center of the universe. For that, he was condemned, silenced, and branded a heretic. But today, we honor his name. We teach his discoveries in schools. Why? Because he held firm to his vision, even when the world pushed back. Albert Einstein wasn't embraced immediately either. His groundbreaking ideas were rejected, even mocked. But he didn't stop. He believed in the clarity of his mind more than the noise of his critics. And over time, the world saw what he had seen all along. His legacy stands as proof that persistence in the face of ridicule is often what separates greatness from obscurity. So what does this mean for you? It means you must choose your commitment over their criticism. Your dream, your mission, your goals, they matter. They are valid, even if no one else sees them yet. That's the nature of vision. You see it before others do. And if you're waiting for universal approval before you begin, you'll wait forever. But not all criticism is harmful. There's a critical distinction between constructive feedback and limiting doubt. The first helps you refine your craft. The second attempts to talk you out of it entirely. Learn to recognize the difference. Constructive feedback will challenge your ideas, but it won't question your potential. Limiting doubt will try to keep you small, often under the guise of concern. You must become the gatekeeper of your vision. Guard it from fear, both yours and others. Stay rooted in your purpose. Remind yourself why you began, especially when voices try to convince you to quit. In those moments, your commitment must be louder than their concern. Critics don't build legacies, doers do. The people who kept going, who tuned out the noise, who dared to believe in themselves when no one else did, those are the ones who change the world. Let the skepticism around you sharpen your focus, not shake your faith. The people who doubt you today might one day point to your success as proof that bold dreams can come true. And if they don't, that's okay too, because you weren't doing it for them. You were doing it for the version of yourself who refused to settle. And that's a victory worth fighting for. In a world that constantly shifts beneath our feet, adaptability is no longer optional. It's survival. Life will rarely go as planned. Circumstances will change, markets will evolve, people will come and go, and what worked yesterday may become obsolete tomorrow. In moments like these, it's not the strongest who thrive, nor the most intelligent. It's those who are willing to adapt. Too often, we view change as a threat rather than an opportunity. We hold on to routines, systems, or beliefs long after they've stopped serving us, out of comfort or fear. But success doesn't live in the comfort zone. It lives in our ability to pivot, to reassess, and to take new action when the path ahead demands it. Adaptability isn't a sign of weakness. It's one of the highest forms of intelligence in action. Dwight D. Eisenhower, a five-star general and the 34th President of the United States, understood this principle better than most. During one of the most complex periods in modern history, Eisenhower was forced to navigate the challenges of war, political unrest, economic transformation, and civil rights. Had he been rigid in his approach, America's post-war progress might have faltered. But he was willing to adapt, not only in military strategy, but in national leadership. He recognized that holding on to yesterday's playbook would never win tomorrow's battles. Eisenhower spearheaded the creation of the U.S. interstate highway system, a decision not just based on traffic flow, but national defense. He maintained a delicate balance between economic conservatism and progressive social programs. His success didn't stem from ideological stubbornness. It came from his ability to adjust course without losing sight of the larger goal. That same adaptability is required in our lives today. Whether you're leading a company, managing a household, pursuing a dream, or simply trying to navigate personal growth, you must be willing to evolve. The plan you began with may need to change. The timeline may shift, the path may wind, and that's okay. What matters is your ability to stay committed to your purpose while remaining flexible in your approach. Ask yourself, are you clinging to strategies or habits that no longer work? Are you resisting new ideas simply because they're unfamiliar? Adaptability means being willing to unlearn, to rethink, and to take action even when it feels uncertain. It's about staying rooted in your values while exploring new ways to live them out. Remember, adaptability is not indecision. It is intelligent decision-making under changing conditions. It's what allows you to keep moving forward even when the terrain changes. It's what transforms roadblocks into detours, not dead ends. The world will continue to shift. That's a guarantee. But how you respond is a choice. You can resist and be broken by it. Or you can bend, adjust, and grow stronger. Be the kind of person who doesn't fear change, but welcomes it. Because those who adapt don't just survive. They lead, they thrive, and they shape the future. Let adaptability be your strength, not your compromise. Self-belief is the foundation upon which every meaningful achievement is built. Without it, even the simplest goals feel impossible. With it, the impossible begins to feel within reach. It is not a luxury reserved for the gifted. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to live fully, act boldly, and rise through adversity. Confidence doesn't come from talent alone. It begins with belief. Think of Muhammad Ali. Before he ever stepped into a professional ring, before the world recognized his greatness, Ali boldly declared, "I am the greatest." Many mistook his words for arrogance, but those who understood knew he wasn't boasting. He was affirming. He wasn't born the greatest. He became the greatest because he believed he could be. His belief became his armor in battle and his anchor during storms. It carried him through criticism, hardship, and every moment of doubt. That is the power of unshakable self-belief. So how do you build that belief in yourself? It starts with the words you speak. Your mind is always listening. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," it hears you. Every time you say, "I can do this," it hears that too. Your thoughts shape your identity. Affirmations, when repeated with conviction, are not empty phrases. They are mental training. Say it aloud. I am capable. I am strong. I rise no matter how many times I fall. These are not fantasies. They are declarations of who you are becoming. But belief cannot live in words alone. It must be confirmed by action. Each time you push past fear, each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you build trust with yourself. That trust is the scaffolding of confidence. You don't need to accomplish something massive to grow your belief. You only need to follow through, consistently. And when doubt creeps in, as it will, look back. Remind yourself of every battle you fought and survived. Every time you thought you'd break but didn't. Every quiet victory, every challenge overcome is proof. Proof that you are stronger than your fear, that your past holds evidence of your resilience. Let that evidence be your fuel. Surround yourself with voices that lift you, not diminish you. Read stories of those who rose through adversity. Engage with mentors, books, and ideas that reinforce your value and potential. Feed your mind strength, not scarcity. Remember, self-belief is not ego. It's not pretending to be perfect. It's knowing that despite imperfections, you are worthy. It's the quiet confidence that says, even if I fall, I will rise again. In a world full of doubt and distraction, your belief in yourself can be your greatest weapon. Speak it, act on it, revisit it daily. Because when your belief becomes unshakable, there's nothing you cannot do. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you forge in the fire of experience. It's not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. True resilience is the ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you over. It's the quiet strength that pushes you forward when everything around you says stop. And nowhere is that truth more evident than in the story of Thomas Edison. Edison didn't fail a few times. He failed over 10,000 times while trying to invent the electric light bulb. Can you imagine facing rejection and disappointment not once, not a dozen times, but thousands? Most would give up. Most would say, maybe this just isn't for me. But not Edison. When asked about his many failures, he famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That wasn't just optimism. It was resilience in action. Every one of those failed experiments was a stepping stone, a teacher, a tool that sharpened his focus, deepened his resolve, and brought him one step closer to success. That is the lesson for all of us. Adversity isn't the enemy, it's the training ground for strength. Pain isn't the end, it's the beginning of transformation. When you're in the middle of struggle, it's easy to feel like something is wrong, like you've taken a wrong turn. But what if the hard road is the right one? What if every setback is preparing you for something greater? The truth is, you don't build character in the easy seasons. You build it when things fall apart, and you choose to rebuild anyway. You build it when you keep going even when you don't feel like it. That's resilience. You don't need to look far to find moments in your own life where you showed resilience. Think of the times you thought you couldn't go on, but did. The days when your heart was heavy, but you got up anyway. The decisions you made when no one was watching. Those moments were not small. They were shaping you into the person you're becoming. So the next time life challenges you, when something doesn't go your way, when you face loss or rejection, remember that you are not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt, stronger, wiser, more resilient than before. Let every challenge become a classroom. Let every failure become a foundation. Resilience isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It shows up quietly in your willingness to try again, and again, and again. Just like Edison, you're allowed to stumble, but you're not allowed to quit. The only true failure is refusing to rise. So rise again. Not because it's easy, but because it's who you are. Let adversity build you, not break you. That's how resilience is born, and that's how greatness is earned. Resilience is not something that shows up overnight. It's earned. It's built one tough moment at a time. It doesn't come from a smooth, easy life. It's the product of struggle, setbacks, and the relentless decision to get back up when it would be easier to quit. It is in these moments, when life tests you, when you feel knocked down, that resilience begins to grow. Every person faces trials, financial struggles, health scares, loss of loved ones, broken relationships. These challenges can feel overwhelming, but in each of them lies a choice: give in or grow through it. The resilient don't deny the pain. They don't pretend it doesn't hurt, but they refuse to be defined by the difficulty. They rise, not because they have to, but because deep down, they know that giving up is not an option. Resilience means continuing on, even when the path is steep. It's waking up after a sleepless night and still putting one foot in front of the other. It's choosing to believe there's more ahead, even when the road behind you is marked by disappointment. It's built in the quiet moments when no one sees your effort, but you keep pushing anyway. We live in a culture that often celebrates instant results and overnight success. But the truth is, the strongest people, the ones we admire most, didn't get there easily. They endured hardships that would have made others walk away. What separates them is not luck or talent, but the courage to stay in the fight long enough to grow through it. Resilience also doesn't mean pretending to be okay all the time. It means allowing yourself to feel, but not staying stuck. It means honoring your struggle while still choosing to move forward. It's the understanding that pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one that you are strong enough to write. When you reflect on your life, you'll see evidence of this strength. You've been through storms before, and you're still standing. You've overcome things you once thought you couldn't. That's not weakness. That's proof of resilience. Every scar is a reminder of how far you've come. Every trial you've survived has taught you something vital. So the next time life shakes you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this building in me? Let every difficulty become the foundation for greater strength. Let each setback sharpen your vision. Know that resilience isn't built in the light, it's built in the dark. And when you've built it, nothing can take it away from you. Resilience doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means you'll always rise. Again and again, stronger each time. Because resilience is not about avoiding hardship, it's about becoming unbreakable through it. And that strength, it will carry you forward no matter what comes. Your mindset is the silent force shaping your entire life. It's not just about thinking positive. It's the internal lens through which you interpret everything that happens. Whether you see a challenge as an opportunity or a dead end, whether you rise after failure or fall into defeat, it all starts in the mind. Think of your mind like a garden. Every thought you entertain is a seed. If you plant fear, self-doubt, and negativity, that's exactly what will grow. But if you plant courage, optimism, and purpose, you'll cultivate a life that's rich with meaning and resilience. It's easy to let weeds creep in, especially when the news is bleak, health becomes fragile, or we've seen too many disappointments. But just like any garden, your mind needs tending. Left alone, weeds take over. But with care and intention, it can thrive again. The good news is that mindset can be trained, no matter your age or background. It begins with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they focused on what's possible or stuck in regret and fear? The first step is simply noticing. You can't change what you don't observe. Next, begin to reframe. When your inner voice says, I can't do this, stop and ask, is that really true? Replace it with a question. How can I move forward? This small mental shift moves you out of limitation and into action. The brain is wired to answer the questions we feed it, so ask empowering ones. Affirmations also play a powerful role in shaping mindset. They may feel awkward at first, but they work by reprogramming your subconscious beliefs. Try saying to yourself each morning, I am capable. I am strong. I choose progress over perfection. Speak it out loud, write it down, let it take root. Over time, these statements reshape how you see yourself and the world around you. It's also essential to protect your mental environment. Limit your exposure to negativity. That might mean stepping back from constant news cycles or minimizing time with people who drain your energy. Instead, surround yourself with voices and influences that inspire you. Books, mentors, uplifting conversations. Your mental diet matters as much as your physical one. Mastering your mindset doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you get stronger. You become someone who can walk through uncertainty without falling apart, who finds lessons in setbacks, and who stays focused even when things feel out of control. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing the perspective that empowers you to respond instead of react. In the end, your mindset determines your direction. It shapes your relationships, your health, your finances, and your peace of mind. And the best part? You have control over it. Right now. Today. No matter your age or your past. The question is, what will you choose to plant in your mental garden? Because when you master your mind, you master your life. We all have ideas, visions of what life could look like if we had more time, more energy, more clarity. But here's the truth. Ideas by themselves are worth nothing. It's not your intentions that shape your future. It's the action you take. The world doesn't reward what you meant to do. It rewards what you did. So many people wait. They wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, the ideal set of circumstances. But waiting quickly turns into years. Dreams fade, opportunities pass by. The uncomfortable truth is that there's never a perfect time to start. Life is messy, unpredictable. If you wait for everything to be in place before you move, you'll never move at all. That's why success begins with doing what you can, where you are, with what you have. You don't need the full blueprint to take the first step. You don't need to feel 100% ready. In fact, most people who succeed start before they feel prepared. It's not about taking massive leaps. It's about consistent, deliberate steps. Think of it like building a house. You don't see the final structure on day one. You lay the first brick, then another, and another. Over time, with patience and persistence, those small actions become something meaningful. The same principle applies to your health, your goals, your finances, your relationships, everything. One action leads to the next, and that creates momentum. Momentum is powerful. It's the invisible engine behind progress, but it can't be bought or wished for. It has to be earned. The only way to gain momentum is to start moving. You don't need to run. You just need to begin. Maybe it's making one phone call, writing one paragraph, taking one walk around the block. Starting small doesn't mean staying small. Small efforts, repeated daily, build habits, and habits shape your future. Here's the part most people overlook. Consistency matters more than perfection. You don't have to get it all right. You just have to keep showing up. Every day you take action, even imperfect action. You build trust in yourself. You reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through. That belief compounds over time and becomes the foundation of your confidence. Legacy isn't built in a day. It's built through decades of quiet, steady effort. Not through grand gestures, but through a series of simple decisions. To show up, to try again, to keep moving forward when others stop. So ask yourself, what's one action you can take today? Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Today. Because the bridge between your dreams and your reality is built one step at a time. If you want to change your life, don't wait for inspiration, create it through action. You don't need more ideas, you need movement. You need execution. The future isn't shaped by what you think about, it's shaped by what you do about it. And the time to start is now. In life, it's easy to get stuck in routines, especially as we age. But one timeless truth remains. We're never too old to act, adapt, and grow. Success doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks us to keep moving. Whether it's taking a daily walk around the neighborhood, finally starting that project you've put off, or learning something new, action is what keeps the spirit alive. Your ideas and dreams still matter, no matter your age. The key is to begin, today, not tomorrow. Even a small, deliberate step each day builds momentum, confidence, and purpose. Remember, legacies aren't built overnight. They're formed by showing up day after day. And when life throws curveballs, as it often does, adaptability and resilience become your greatest tools. Reflect on your why, set clear goals, and let purpose guide your decisions. Criticism may come, but your commitment must be stronger. You've already faced and overcome many storms. Let that history remind you that you're capable of achieving more. As long as you wake up with breath in your lungs, you have the power to shape your future. Don't just exist, lead, grow, and live with intention. The best chapters may still be ahead.